wasn't a great start, but you seemed to get back into it towards the end of the first quarter, and then really got on with it in the second quarter.
Yep.
Midfield really seemed to get on top of clearances, and you just really gained momentum from there.
You're exactly right. I thought we didn't start well. They got the jump on us for whatever reason. It's always hard to put a finger on why, but our midfield got to work, and we hung in there, but and to keep it to sort of 2 goals at quarter time, it felt like the first 10 minutes of the game they had complete control and could have punched that margin out a little further, but we hung in there, kept it to 2 goals at quarter time, and then our midfield got to work, particularly at centre bounce. I thought it was a really strong display from our midfield for the most part.
On that in particular, Briggsy was really enormous in that, in not only finding Finn or Tom with the clearance, but winning them himself. I mean, clearly he's had a month off, he's come back 2 weeks, and he looks pretty good at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did again tonight. Hit-outs to advantage, being able to clear the ball himself, follow up and have an impact or support. I thought it was really, really strong performance, a really important mark behind the ball when they felt like they'd sort of wrestled back a little bit of control. So, I think he's been contributing really strongly in both games back. It's nice to have him back.
Obviously, he had that bit of an injury about a month ago or so, but you kind of made the decision to go, okay, let's sit him for a little bit. Maybe could have come back sooner if it was a big game, but let's put a bit of work into him and make sure he's fresh for the back end. I think you must be happy with the results so far.
So far, yeah. It's been really good. He worked really hard in that break to not only make his ankle better, but to also improve his fitness levels, improve his strength, improve his craft.
It's not just your 4th straight win, the 4th straight time you scored over 100 points. There's plenty of potency up there. Apart from having the defending Coleman medalist, you've got the Lancers, Stringer and Cadman now firing on all cylinders. How important has that been for you?
Oh, really important. Yeah, I mean, there's been a little bit of talk that we're relying on Jesse to kick a winning score, and he has big games, but I'm not sure we're necessarily reliant on him, which is always a good thing. Tonight's a great example. He kicks 1 goal, but Cadman's able to sort of hit the scoreboard, kick 6, Jake kicked 4, I think. So 10 goals between those 2 boys, and then we get contributions from those guys at ground level, which is always, really nice. So I'd like a few more midfield goals, but can't have everything.
What do you see has changed for Aaron, I guess, over the past couple of months? I think it's 6 past 7 games. He's kicked multiple goals, obviously. Career high tonight. What is it?
I think if you wind back the tape, I feel like I've been saying we're really happy with him. He's just got to finish a little bit better, whether that's mark or whether that's kick goals. But he keeps putting himself in position to be able to win the ball, present, compete, support and help his guys at his feet. I think this has been building for a long while. Now he's probably getting the rewards for all that effort in terms of goals, but there's a lot more to his game than just goals at the moment. So he's a really important player to our club and the way that we play. Sorry.
Have you worked on anything, or the coaches worked on anything in particular with him in his set shots? Because it feels like you mentioned obviously goal kicking was the one thing that's missing, but he's gone back and become super reliable for those set shots now. Maybe he wasn't always there.
No, he wasn't. And he was sort of caught between routines, really, sort of mixing and matching a little bit at times. So he's gone to work with his forwards coach, Jeremy Laidler, and they've come up with a routine that works for him. And it feels like that's paying strong dividends at the moment.
Lots of impressive performances from the defence tonight. Obviously, Connor, Jack were huge, but felt like there was a really important moment in that 4th quarter where Ryan Ankland had about 3 or 4 defensive one-on-one wins consecutively. To see a guy like that who's trying to make the most of his opportunity must be really pleasing.
It is, and we spoke about that in our review meeting just gone, highlighting the fact that I thought our defence is improving and needs to continue to improve, but we looked pretty reliable in the contest for the most part, and certainly Ryan's efforts late to have multiple efforts, but certainly show the courage and bravery that we know he's got. It was really important. Saved a couple of goals for us. It was great.
It's a short turnaround this week. Going playing on the Thursday night. I know you flagged earlier. We might see a few team changes as a result. Is everyone pulled up right from back out?
It feels like they have, but again, they need to cool down, they need to check in with the physios. I need to then speak to the physios and docs about what their thoughts are. We'll then check in tomorrow morning again. I mean, I think there will be a couple of changes on the back of 5 days and guys managing stuff. But you know, we've got to cross that bridge of how they've pulled up first before we start making decisions on other guys.
And what were your thoughts on Lockie Whitfield's performance in his milestone match?
Yeah,
it seemed like a pretty typical, consistent.
I was about to say that exact thing. It was a typical performance from, you know, one of our stars, and yeah, it was really nice for him to get back to that level of play in what was such a really important game, not only for him but for us. You know, we want to celebrate the game in the right way for him, but we also knew it was an incredibly important game against the Cats to continue to try and climb up that ladder, and he led the way for us. It was, you know, a fantastic game.
You're gradually getting that injury list down now. I believe Cogg's played today as well.
Yeah.
How far away is he? How many more games is he likely to be after missing so much footy to come?
Yeah, he'll be close to being picked against Essendon in 5 days' time. So we expect that. Well, he's certainly available. He's played the last 2 VFL games and felt really good. Covered the ground well. Didn't have an enormous impact today in what was I think maybe a 7-goal loss against the Cats reserves. But if he feels good, we'll probably find a position for him. So that could be a possibility, and certainly Sam Taylor will be pushing his case. It'll just be, the foot's fine, it'll just be a matter of whether or not he's done enough work to satisfy us from a soft tissue prevention perspective.
So is Brent Daniels kind of the only major concern at the moment, or are you fairly bullish about him?
Oh yeah, he's still a little way away. He had a jog on Thursday and felt okay. So that's a step forward, but he's still got a lot of ways to go before he's available for selection. So that's still weeks and weeks away.
Harry Ralston continues to make the most of the opportunities he's getting in midfield. He had a big challenge against some really good midfielders tonight, but it was one of his probably most impressive games today. Yeah, he's doing really well. He's tough in and around the contest. Our clearance work feels like it's better with him around it. You know, he's managing to sort of burst into space as well, which is nice. Playing his role really well. So I've been really pleased with his games. Is he feeling that whole bit that JP was probably had at the back end of last year, had a similar impact?
Yeah, he's probably playing a bit more midfield than what JP was back then, but similar. Yeah, similar. I mean, it'll be an interesting discussion around Cornelio if he's good to go. What we do there. Xavier O'Halloran's been, I think, in really career best form. I would think, and so we'll have some tough decisions to make. And you know, that's a sign of a good football team in good form.
And was Jesse just tactical today?
Yeah. He felt really good. I mean, he'll be one that we discuss around his foot and management and you know, how he pulls up. But you know, he's saying it feels fine, but we'll see.
Any sentimentality going to the Stringer Essendon one this week? Obviously, the thoughts about resting him potentially at a 5-day turnaround but coming up against his old side.
Look, if we think the best thing to do is to rest him, because we're worried about, you know, he's had 2 hamstrings already this season. If we think the best thing is to rest him, then we'll rest him. But I'm not sure that we will. I think he's feeling pretty good. His body's in pretty good order. So, I mean, that again, you always have that nervousness about it. Is it the right decision to play him? Is he going to get through? And if he does, you breathe a sigh of relief. If he doesn't, well, you kick yourself. So we'll make that assessment after we assess all the other players.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, guys.